My name is Sabrina Drake. In this video, I'm going to show you how to multiply using the traditional method, a multi-digit number and a single-digit number, and a multi-digit number by another multi-digit number. I am also going to show you using the partial products method, how you can multiply two double-digit numbers together. Our I can statement for this lesson is right behind me. So I can multiply using the traditional or partial products method. So that's our goal for this mini lesson. So we're going to start off with a pretty basic multiplication problem, just sort of get our brains working to review. So I'm going to give you the number 23 multiplied by 4. Anytime you write out a multiplication problem, it is really important that your biggest number or your number with the most digits is always going to be on the top and your smaller number is going to be on the bottom. It is equally important to ensure that your place values are lined up. So you can see my 3 and my 4 in my ones place and they're stacked right on top of each other. And same with my 2 and my invisible 0 in my tens place. When you multiply, you also want to start all the way to the right or in your ones place and you move to the left or counterclockwise. So you would say 3 times 4 is 12. And just like in addition, since the product of those two numbers is greater than 10, you drop the number in the ones place and you carry the number in the tens place, which is why our 12 is split. Then we would multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. And just like in addition again, you make sure you add on the number you carry to get 9. So our solution for this problem is 92. Anytime you're solving a math problem, it is also very important that you can say what you did verbally out loud, just to help you make sense of the problem. So I would say 23 multiplied by 4 equals 92. I'm going to give you one to practice on your own. So I'm going to give you 32. It's not really showing up. Just a second. Try again. Use this one so it's not wet. Move over here. We'll do 32. Marker malfunction. 32. There we go. Times 6. If you're still a little confused, you can feel free to follow along. Otherwise, I'd like you to pause the video and try to solve by yourself. All right, so here we go. Again, start all the way over to the ones place. And 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, and you split the 12, so you drop what's in the tens place, or you drop what's in the ones place, excuse me, carry what's in the tens. Then 3 times 6, we know is 18, and we need to add on the 1 to get 19. So we know our solution to this problem is 192, and again, you should be able to say that verbally, so you would say 32 multiplied by 6 equals 192. Now we're going to move on to multi-digit multiplication, which is when we're going to multiply two numbers together that have double digits. So for example, if we did 42 multiplied by 25. So same thing when you're using numbers that have multiple digits, you want to make sure that your place values are aligned. Okay, so our 2 and our 5 are aligned, our 4 and our 2 are aligned. And notice also my bigger number is still always going to be on the top. So same thing, we're going to start over here in our ones place, but for now we're just going to focus on the 5 and we're not even going to worry about the 2. So when you multiply two digits like this together, you get two solutions and then you're going to add. So I'm going to solve for my first solution, then my second solution. So just kind of forget about the 2 for now. So 2 times 5 is 10. So we drop what's in the ones place, we drop the 0, and we carry our 1. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So this is our first solution right here. A lot of people will draw a line so they know that that was the first solution. It's also important to know we're going to add, so you can put an addition sign over here just to get ready. Now, this is the tricky part when multiplying double digits together and what most people struggle with, so pay really close attention here. So, when you multiply, you're going to go all the way over here now to the tens place. And since the 2 is in your tens place, okay, I always think of this 2 as 20 because it's in the tens place. And 2 times 10 is 20. So I'm going to take this 0 and I'm going to drop it down into my ones place to serve as a place value holder because our next solution is going to be 10 times bigger since we're starting in our tens place. So once I have my place value, I can go ahead and start multiplying. So I'm going to start here with the 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, and we're going to draw another line. Now, to find the total for this problem, we need to add together. So we're going to start in the ones place. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 4 is 5. And 2 plus 8 is going to be 10. Don't forget your comma. So we know our solution to this problem is 1,050. And you should be able to say this in a number sentence as well. So you would say 42 multiplied by 25 equals 1,050. I'll erase this and I'll give you one to practice on your own. If you're still a little confused, that's totally fine. Just follow along with me. And the black stuff. Alright, we'll work over here. So we'll do 63 multiplied by 34. Also, if you haven't noticed, it's really important that you have your multiplication facts down, especially when you're multiplying double-digit numbers. So like I said, if you need to pause the video and practice on your own, perfect. If not, just follow along with me. So again, make sure we start all the way in our ones place. So we have 3 times 4 is 12. We drop what's in the ones place, carry what's in the tens. 6 times 4 is going to be 24, plus 1 is 25. And this is going to be our first solution. So we're going to draw our line underneath, bring our addition sign over so we remember to add. Then again, we're going to look at this 3. And this 3 is in the tens place. So 3 times 10 is 30. So this 0 right here, we're going to carry and bring down as a place value holder, so that when we start, we're going to start right here in the tens place and work our way over. So we're going to go back up here and focus on the 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 3 is going to be 18. And again, do you see how my place values are lined up for when I add? So my ones place, tens place, hundreds place, and thousands place are all ready to go. I'm going to draw my line underneath so I know I'm adding now. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 9 is 14, carry the 1. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 1 is 11, so carry my 1. And then I get 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, bring my comma down. So my solution to the problem is 2,142. I always like to circle my solutions, but you don't have to. And again, you should be able to say this in a number sentence. So we would say 63 multiplied by 34 equals 2,142. That problem wraps up our traditional method. Now I'm going to go into the partial products method, which is another way of multiplying two multi-digit numbers together, and is my favorite way of multiplying. Alright, so I'm going to use the number 43 times 16. Alright, when using the partial products method, you use what's called like a visual representation or a model for your problem. So you can go ahead and draw a box over to the side. Okay, and we're going to divide our box into 4 sections. So first, we're going to focus on this 43. And you're going to ask yourselves, how many tens are in 43? There are 4 tens in 43, so we have 40. Then we ask ourselves, how many ones are in 43? We have 3 ones. So our number 43 is broken down and represented right here. Then we're going to look at 16 and ask ourselves how many tens we have in 16. We have 1 10 in 16, so we have just a regular 10. Then we ask ourselves how many ones. So we have 6 ones in the number 16, so we represent that right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our broken down numbers and we're going to plug them into our chart. So it doesn't matter if you put them on top or on the side as long as you keep the groups together. So this is one group and this is another group. I still like to, however, put the bigger number on the top because it makes the most sense to me. So what I'm going to do is put 40 above my first square. Then I'm going to plug in the 3 above my second square. Then I'm going to take my 10, plug it in on the first side square, and my 6 on our square right below it. So this together represents our 43, this together represents our 16. Now, when working to multiply these together, I always like to use my pointer fingers to help me so I don't get lost. So I'm going to take my pointer finger at the 40 and my pointer finger at the 10. I'm going to bring them together. So I know the product of those two numbers is going to be put in this first square. And when dealing with numbers that have 0 on the ends, I always forget about the zeros and just look right at the first numbers and say 4 times 1 I know is 4. And then I'm going to count my zeros. So I have 1, 2 zeros, so I add 2 zeros on to get a product of 400. Then I'm going to take my pointer fingers, once again, have one at the top and one by the 6. And I'm going to bring them down. And I'm going to say 4 times 6 I know is 24. And I have 1 0, so I'm going to bring down my 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, except for I'm going to start at my 10, but I'm going to bring my finger over to my 3. And I'm going to bring them together here. And I know that 1 times 3 is 3, and I have 1 0, so I'm going to plug in my 0 to get 30. Pointer finger at the 3 and pointer finger at the 6, bring them together, and I know that 3 times 6 is 18. So now I have 4 different products because I broke the multiplication problem apart and did several different multiplication problems, which is I just broke it down is really what I did. Now I'm going to do is take all of the products and I'm going to add them together. So I always write from biggest to smallest. And I also make sure that my place values are all lined up. That way when I'm ready to add, I'm good to go. So I have 400 at the top, followed by 240. Then I'm going to go to 30. And then I'm going to go to 18. Don't forget your addition sign and a line underneath so we know you're solving the problem. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8 is going to give me 8. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 1 is 8. A lot of 8s in this problem. And then 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. So 688 is our solution. So we're going to take that number, we're going to plug it in over here. And again, you should be able to say this in a number sentence. So 43 multiplied by 16 equals 688. All right. I know that was a lot to comprehend, but I'm going to give you a problem, and if you feel comfortable, same thing, try to solve it by yourself. If not, just follow along with me. I'll go ahead and erase the board. All right, this time I'm going to use the number, there we go. 63 times 15. So again, if you think you can do it by yourself using the partial products method, go ahead and pause, otherwise follow along with me. So same thing, we're going to draw our model off to the side. Divide our model into 4. And the reason we divide our model into 4 is because when we broke it down, we had 4 different numbers here for our groups, so I'll show you that in just a second. So again, we asked ourselves, how many 10s do we have in the number 63? So we have 6 10s, right? So that's 60. How many 1s? 3 1s. So this is one group, so this would represent one spot and another spot. So that gives us the first 2 boxes. So this is one group. We can just plug it in right up here. Okay, now we're going to look at the next one. We have the number 15. Okay, how many 10s are in 15? We have 1, so that's just 1 10. How many 1s are in 15? We have 5. And this is our second group, which we're going to plug in on this side. And see up here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. We're going to take our pointer fingers, and we're going to start to multiply. We're going to start right here. Bring them together. 1 times 6 is 6. Plus 2 zeros gives us 600. We're going to come over here. 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. And don't forget to add the 0, so 300. Over here now, 1 and 3 is 3. We have a 0, 30. Over here, 3 and 5 is 15. Okay, and now we're going to take all these products, we're going to add them together for our solution. Remember, place them in order from biggest to smallest, and make sure your place values are lined up and good to go. So we have 600, 300, 30, and 15. All the numbers in my ones place are lined up, my tens places are lined up, and my hundreds places lined up. So we're good to add. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is going to give us 5. 0 plus 0 plus 3 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. And 6 plus 3 is 9. So we know our total is 945. We're going to take this, plug it in under our multiplication problem to get our solution. And again, you should be able to say this in a number sentence. So you would say 63 multiplied by 15 equals 945. So again, this video covered how to solve using the traditional multiplication method and the partial products multiplication method. Thanks for watching.